Welcome to HD Old Coins 51. Here, we dive into the fascinating world of rare and historical coins from around the globe. From ancient treasures to unique finds from the Philippines, the United Kingdom, Greece, and beyond. Each coin tells a story of its time. If you're a collector, history enthusiast, or just curious, hit subscribe and join us as we uncover the hidden gems in numismatics. Top 1. Today, we're diving into a piece of American history, the 1925 Buffalo Nickel. The 1925 Buffalo Nickel, also known as the Indian Head Nickel, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. This coin was part of a series produced by the U.S. Mint between 1913 and 1938. It was designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser, who created it to represent the rugged spirit of America's frontier. On the obverse, or front side, you'll see the face of a Native American chief, a composite inspired by three Native American leaders from different tribes. Fraser once said that he wanted this design to convey a sense of dignity, strength, and nobility, and many collectors feel he succeeded. The reverse side of the coin shows a bison, which Fraser modeled after a bison named Black Diamond, who lived at the Bronx Zoo in New York. It's a powerful image that reminds us of America's wild landscapes and the creatures that once roamed them freely. Now, the 1925 Buffalo Nickel isn't the rarest in this series, but it has some unique qualities and challenges for collectors. It was minted in three locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You'll know which mint it came from by checking for a mint mark below the words 5 cents on the back of the coin. The Philadelphia Mint, as usual, didn't have a mint mark, while coins from Denver have a D, and coins from San Francisco have an S. The San Francisco coins, in particular, are highly sought after by collectors because fewer were produced. So, let's talk about what really matters to collectors: condition and value. Buffalo nickels are notorious for wearing down quickly, especially on areas like the date and the bison's head. This is due to the coin's high relief, which caused it to wear out in circulation faster than other coins. In terms of value, a well-preserved 1925 Buffalo nickel can be worth significantly more than its original face value of 5 cents. Coins in lower grades can be valued at a few dollars, but those in extremely fine or uncirculated condition can fetch anywhere from $100 to over $1,000, especially if they're from the San Francisco Mint. If you're considering buying or selling a 1925 Buffalo nickel, you'll want to understand grading. Here are a few quick tips. First, look at the date on the front. If you can read it clearly, that's a good sign. Then, check the bison's horn on the reverse. More detail means less wear. For higher grades, you should see definition in the Native American's braids and in the bison's fur. Certified coins graded by reputable organizations like the PCGS or NGC offer extra assurance on quality and authenticity, so that's worth keeping in mind when shopping for a 1925 Buffalo nickel. The 1925 Buffalo nickel is more than just a coin. It's a piece of American heritage, connecting us to the early 20th century. These coins were in the pockets of people during a time of tremendous change in the United States, just before the Great Depression, when the country was still expanding and building its national identity. Owning a 1925 Buffalo nickel lets you hold on to a little piece of that history, a reminder of the ruggedness, resilience, and diversity that defines. Thanks for watching. Top 2. Today, we're diving deep into a little treasure from America's past, the 1934 5-cent nickel. This nickel is not only a part of American history, but also a window into the era of the Great Depression. From its unique design to its historical significance, there's a lot to uncover about this seemingly simple coin. So, if you're a coin collector, history lover, or just curious about rare American coins, stick around. The 1930s were a challenging time in America. After the 1929 stock market crash, the country was deep in the Great Depression, one of the most difficult economic periods in U.S. history. Many people struggled to find work, food, and even shelter. Despite these hardships, the United States continued to produce coins for daily transactions. Our featured coin, the 1934 5-cent nickel, also known as the Buffalo nickel, came out in a time when every penny, or, in this case, every nickel, was valuable to Americans. Because of economic challenges, people didn't save coins like we do today. Many of these nickels wore down quickly, making well-preserved examples a rare find. Let's take a closer look at the design. The buffalo nickel is iconic for its two beautiful elements: the profile of a Native American chief on the obverse and an American buffalo on the reverse. Designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser, this coin is deeply rooted in American symbolism. Fraser's Native American portrait was inspired by three different indigenous leaders, creating a composite image that honors America's native history. The reverse, showing a buffalo, often thought to be modeled after Black Diamond, a buffalo from the Bronx Zoo, symbolizes the rugged spirit and strength of the United States. These design choices reflect the spirit of resilience and strength, qualities that many Americans held on to during the Great Depression. Now, let's talk specifics. The 1934 Buffalo nickel was produced in two main mints, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia mint version doesn't have a mint mark, while the Denver version does, marked with a small D below the words 5 cents on the reverse. Although it's not the rarest Buffalo nickel, finding a 1934 nickel in excellent condition is a true challenge. Due to the design's raised details, these coins wore down easily over time. For collectors, a well-preserved 1934 Buffalo nickel with a clear date and strong details can be worth hundreds, or even thousands, especially in uncirculated condition. So, what makes a 1934 nickel valuable? Like any coin, condition is key. Coins are graded from poor to mint state, and the condition can dramatically impact value. A well-worn 1934 nickel in good condition might only be worth a few dollars, while one in mint state could fetch significantly more. Collectors specifically look for details like the clarity of the Native American's feathers, the buffalo's fur, and, crucially, the date. If the date is worn off, the coin's value drops considerably. An uncirculated 1934 Buffalo nickel from the Denver Mint in near-perfect condition could even be worth over $1,000 to the right collector. If you're on the hunt for a 1934 nickel, here are some quick tips. First, always handle coins carefully, preferably with gloves, to avoid damaging them. Second, consider buying from reputable dealers or getting coins graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. This way, you can ensure authenticity and get a true sense of the coin's condition and value. When you're out and about, keep your eyes open. Sometimes, Buffalo nickels turn up in unexpected places like estate sales, flea markets, or even in loose change. While finding a 1934 nickel in perfect condition is rare, it's always exciting to stumble across a little piece of history. And that's a wrap on the 1934 American nickel. It's more than just a coin. It's a piece of history, a reflection of resilience, and a cherished item for collectors. So, what do you think? Do you have a 1934 Buffalo nickel in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Top 3. Today, we're going back to the 1930s to explore a true American classic, the 1936 Buffalo nickel. This coin is more than just 5 cents. It's a piece of history, art, and culture all wrapped into one. So grab a seat, and let's journey back to the year 1936. The 1936 Buffalo nickel was minted during a fascinating period in U.S. history. The country was slowly recovering from the Great Depression, and people were finally starting to see some hope. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the president, and his New Deal policies were making a real difference. For many people, though, every penny counted, and even nickels like this one were precious. Coins like this circulated widely, passing through thousands of hands as Americans worked, spent, and saved during tough economic times. But this isn't just any nickel, it's a Buffalo nickel, officially known as the Indian head nickel. Now, let's look closely at the design. The Buffalo nickel was designed by James Earl Fraser in 1913, and he created a coin unlike anything people had seen before. On the front, or obverse, we see a striking portrait of a Native American. Fraser based this image on 3 real Native American chiefs: Iron Tail, Two Moons, and Big Tree. He wanted to capture the strength and dignity of indigenous people, and this powerful profile became an icon of American coinage. Then, on the back, or the reverse, we have an image of an American bison, commonly called a buffalo. Many believe Fraser's model for the buffalo was an animal named Black Diamond, who lived at the Bronx Zoo in New York. The buffalo symbolizes the vast plains and the wild spirit of the American West. an area that was rapidly disappearing in the early 20th century. So, what makes the 1936 Buffalo nickel so special? 1936 was one of the last years the Buffalo nickel was minted before it was replaced by the Jefferson nickel in 1938. The U.S. Mint produced over 119 million of these in Philadelphia, as well as smaller runs in Denver and San Francisco. If you look closely, you might find a little D or S mint mark next to the 5 cents on the reverse, showing where your coin was minted. 1936 also brings us to one of the most exciting details for collectors, the double die obverse variety. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare nickels, you'll see slight doubling in the date or lettering on the front. This happened because of a minor misalignment in the die that struck the coins. While they're rare, these double-die Buffalo nickels are highly sought after and can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. The value of a 1936 Buffalo nickel depends on its condition, mint mark, and any unique features like the double-die obverse. In circulated condition, they're worth a few dollars, but a well-preserved, uncirculated 1936 Buffalo nickel can be worth upwards of $50 or more. And if you have the double-die version, you're looking at a much higher value, depending on the grade. So, if you have a 1936 Buffalo nickel, check the date carefully and examine the condition closely. This could be a small treasure hiding in your pocket change or your family's old coin collection. The Buffalo nickel is more than just a collectible. It's a piece of Americana. It represents an era when artists like James Earl Fraser transformed everyday coins into miniature masterpieces. Even today, over 80 years later, collectors are still drawn to this nickel for its art, history, and the mystery of every scratch and detail. Whether you're a collector, a history buff, or just someone fascinated by rare and vintage coins, the 1936 Buffalo nickel is a coin that continues to captivate and inspire. So, next time you see one of these coins, take a closer look. You're holding a small but mighty piece of American history. Top 4. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1937 5 cents, or Jefferson nickel. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned pro, stick around, because we'll be looking at its design, history, and the factors that can make this coin valuable. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. But the 1937 5-cent coin we're looking at today is one of the last years of the Buffalo nickel design. This classic design was first minted in 1913, created by sculptor James Earl Fraser, and it represents the spirit of America during its time. The front shows a Native American profile, while the back features an American bison. One of the first things collectors notice about the 1937 nickel is its bold design. It's iconic, with a beautifully detailed Native American face on the obverse and an American buffalo on the reverse. But what makes the 1937 issue special? For one, it's part of the final production year for the Buffalo nickel, meaning it has a nostalgic charm for collectors. So, what's a 1937 nickel worth? Well, the value varies depending on its condition and mint mark. A 1937 nickel from the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark in good condition might be worth around $1 to $3. But if it's in mint state or uncirculated, it could fetch anywhere from $20 to $50 or even more. But here's where it gets really interesting. The 1937 D3-legged Buffalo nickel. In 1937, a unique error occurred at the Denver Mint, creating what's now known as the three-legged Buffalo nickel. This coin is highly sought after because of a misstep during the minting process that removed one of the buffalo's legs on the reverse. Today, a 1937 D3-legged Buffalo nickel in good condition can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its grade. If you're looking to add a 1937 nickel to your collection, here are some tips. Check for mint marks. The D4 Denver is the one you want if you're hunting for the three-legged variety. Look closely at the bison's legs. A missing front leg means you've found something special. And always examine the condition of the coin, as it can significantly affect its value. Whether you have a 1937 nickel already or you're on the lookout for one, it's an amazing piece of history to own. And if you're lucky enough to find the three-legged variety, you could be holding onto a true treasure. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for more rare coin discoveries and value tips. Happy collecting!